Hello everyone, and welcome to another Satisfactory video. This is going to be an interesting episode. It's like, as usual, when you're looking around to build, you find something that needs attention, or that you think, hang on a minute, that could be better, and then you sometimes decide to do something about it. Well, there are a couple of things here. One is I detected something in a factory recently when I was doing some refits, and the other is I actually found not a problem, but the fact that we could do with a lot more Caterium ingots. So let's start off with the first place I want to go to, which is the Caterium depot. Caterium depot. So I'm going to jump there. And actually, while we're setting that up, I also want to go to Encased industrial beams. Good by the time we come back. Right. To the depot. So the issue I detected was that actually this isn't evenly loading. Go and prove me wrong there, but I'll show you what I actually did to try and remedy it, or will actually prove the point. So there are Caterium ingots coming in here. These will usually behave as load balancers, but what I'm noting is they're not. This one is actually. You can see this one, the autosave. We can see the ingots are going out both sides. Nice. Useful, good, okay. That's pretty much how they're expected to behave, but they should be coming out top and bottom, but they're not. And these do behave as load balancers if they're fully loaded, but they're not. They're empty. And when they're not, then they seem to prioritise one or other of the junctions, and there are some rules around that. This I've just added to this, because what I noticed was one side is fully loading, and the other side was struggling badly. Okay, so what's causing that? We're near the nuclear power station. Well, that's why we've got radiation. So, if we go downstairs, this is just basically a depot. Ingots come in and ingots come out, and it brings in ingots from multiple sources. We can see that this is mostly full. Yeah, that one's full. We're full up to that point, so we're looking good. Looking good. These ones are either partially full or empty. These are the feeds coming in here. So maybe this needs a redesign, right? But if we go over the other side here, this is basically fully empty. And it's empty because it's not load balancing properly. This side is depleted, and as a result we're not getting a full rate through this. This would have been originally, I would like to see this 50% up to here, 50% up to there, and then dispensing equally. So all this will become relevant in a minute. But it is sort of working. I put an assistive balancer on here. When that left channel is full, it will start helping the right channel. So that's full, that's empty, or filling. This loads at a full 2,400 on each channel. You know, one of the things I could do here is actually remove one of these. That would drop this down to 2,400 and perhaps help with the balancing. Well, this is nearly full now. And likewise. Let's see how this goes when it hits 100. Right, so that should start backing up to the buffer underneath. That should be backing up to the buffer underneath. And then when that bottom buffer fills, and it has, I can see already has, then it's going to start diverting over to the other side and assisting that right hand container there with the load, because these are just not coming through fast enough. We've got 600 coming in as a constant feed on both of these. On this channel is a similar load balancer over here, assisted balancer, so if one of these backs up it starts to push ingots across the other side, but these are coming in at 600 each. In fact, let's put a performance monitor, throughput monitor on it. Logistics. So look at those. These should be coming in at 600 each. $570, 600. There we go. 600 each. More or less. Yeah, 600. It's fluctuating, isn't it? But yeah, 600. 616. Well, okay. Yeah, but there's the Caterium ingot factories at the other ends of each of those rows are a pure node, and they create 600 ingots each. There's one to the north and one to the south. So, I mean, that's not a great deal, right? That's 1,200, and this is a depot that can reportedly deliver up to 4,800 per minute. That's the capacity of the depot. So the depot's capacity is at full tilt 4,800 per minute, and that's just based on how quickly it can load from the buffers. It's not based on the production. So how are we looking? See, that's now taken a load probably, and then when this starts backing up, this will now then start feeding over. Oh, it's probably taken a train has come in, hasn't it? So it's getting quite some demand on here at the minute. Yeah. That balancer downstairs is going to help with that. Anyway, let's leave this alone for the minute. Let's go back to the main base. Oh, which one was it? Can't remember. It was that one, wasn't it? Disconnect it. That's to save on the singularity cells. And this is a factory that I think needs a rework. Let me just go next door for a second, and I'll explain why. So, coming up to the release of 1.2, I've been looking at some of the factories, and I've been refitting them with clean logistics. Go in here, downstairs. This is a typical clean logistics factory. So it's still loading. So all the logistics are actually under the floor. I'm gonna go down here, and hey presto, all of the feed is in the ceiling. Now this is a two floor factory, so the logistics from the floor above pokes through into the floor below. That is by design. And here we go, like the logistics here underneath this factory. So this was recently refitted. I just noted something that needs colour in there. Not patterns, colours, carbon steel. Thank you. And there. Okay. So, as I've been going through the factories in throughout the build, I was looking for factories that needed a refit. I'd already done all the assemblers. Let's just jump here. Like the tube. Right. And I was visiting this factory. This factory makes encased industrial beams based on steel pipes. It should have plenty. Yeah. It's not a supply issue with this. I just happened to wander downstairs and I just went, oh. And here we go. This is how the factories used to be. So they didn't have a logistics floor. All the logistics were on the floor, and I was like, hang on a minute, I've done a refit of all these assembler factories, so why hasn't this one been done? I've missed it. And then I was thinking, okay, well, let's consider ripping this out. But the first thing you need to do is to check whether or not there's enough clearance underneath, and I went, that's why I haven't done it. So there are two things here. One, I haven't done it because there isn't enough clearance underneath. And two, there's actually a pure Caterium ore node under here. Now this wasn't here pre 1.0. This was added in 1.0. I think it may have even been an iron ore node back in the day. And of course I didn't need it. But this was added in at 1.0. And I was like, damn, you just put a node straight under my factory, so I can't use it. Now, there are a few things we can do here. We can't build down, but what we can do is we can build up. So most of the factories here in the Rocky Desert, they're not designed to go up. They're designed to be rail level is at the top, and they're designed to go down, as you just saw next door with the steel beam. But there is precedent for this, and the first one of these was actually the rotor factory in Grass Fields. And in fact, let's go and visit that. Rotor factory. Go back to base. It's here where we're going to go. Let's do this one. I'm going to set this one up first. I'm going to go to blue, fix this ornament. Okay. What we can do, let's use the hypertubes. Bit of fun. So, in this experimental release, the hypertubes are very much improved. You can now change direction really easily when you're going along here. I'm going to prove me wrong now. There we go. So I don't want to go that way. I want to go straight on. But you see that I'm miles away from the junction and you can change it. This is the one I want. We need to put some signage under here just because I know this one. Okay, but this is the rotor factory in Grass Fields, and it was the first of its kind. It's the first factory that went up instead of down. And the reason for that, it's just recently had a refit. The reason for that is that there wasn't enough clearance underneath it. So if we go down one level to platform logistics, this is the undercroft, this is where the logistics come in. And we can go back down one more to the undercroft. There wasn't enough room in here to build a factory underneath the rail level. So underneath platform level. So this was very much the first factory that was designed to go up. And so it goes, in fact what we need to do, we need to go down to the logistics floor. Factory logistics. So this is where all the fun happens, where the materials come up from the platforms below and they're routed around here. So it can be a mess, right? That's the whole point. It's I don't want it to be, but it's as organised as it can be. But essentially it's just to get the materials to where they need to be, like all this nonsense. Right, so we're bringing in steel beams here. Steel beams are also coming across here. We've got the logistics above. So it was easier, basically. The reason that the factories are top down is because it was easier to route the logistics than it was to go up. then that's really the only answer. This is a 2-level factory going up. So it creates screws. And this is a technique that I developed called direct feed. It solves the screw problem. Ask me to explain that if you'd like to know more. But I don't transport screws. I have a screw factory. It doesn't send screws anywhere. Screws are all made on site. Right, and this is the top of the factory. So this would be how I would envisage that factory in the rocky desert looking. So we change it to be like this. We've already got the blueprints, right? Oh, it's a direct feed assembler, but we've already got blueprints that we can use. So we've already set a precedent. This, as I say, this was a prototype. It's about the 4th time that's been rebuilt, but it is not the standard type. But where are we going? I need to go to the platform level. Turn the sound down a bit. Music on. Right. So back to base. Now these hypertube junctions, that's just my build, right? Now these hypertube junctions are working properly, I can actually redesign all the hypertubes as well. Very much looking forward to that. Right, where are we going to go? Excuse me. We were going to go to the first real... So if that was a prototype, this factory we're going to was the first bottom-up factory. And you may have seen this in the previous video. This is Blue Fixbus Ornament, and this was the first one. This is where I actually, to my mind, I actually cracked it. I worked out what I needed to do, and that was that. That's autosave. The materials still come in and they go down, but then they're... Well, hey! Try that again, shall we? But then they're routed up. So these come out of the buffers. Then the materials go up. And basically, again, it was still materials... Oh my good God! I just got sucked into the hypo tube. Thank you. Don't get too close, they're dangerous. So... materials go up, and then they're distributed to each floor here. So I put a buffer in on each floor. Now, is this a design I do now? But I don't know, but this was really how I managed to build the whole of the Fixbus factories here in Dune Desert. So I put buffers on each floor, and then each buffer continues to go up. I think these might even need a... I'm not even using the vertical splitters on these, I guarantee it. Oh, it's because of the number of feeds. Okay. So this one doesn't need vertical splitters. But anyway, that's the idea. This still has a 4-wall high window section, 2 walls, and then I can put some lights on the walls inside. So that's a key difference between that and the rotor factory. But I'm thinking we need to do something very, very similar over at over in the Rocky Desert. Now, one of the things that's also going through my mind is if we give this another wall, then we can actually put some logistics underneath. In fact, we either put logistics 1 wall up, or we create a 2-wall high logistics floor. Those are my thoughts at the moment. I think the one in the grass fields is probably a bit more nearer the design we want to go for. So not necessarily this, because we're going to have the logistics poking through the floor above. Yeah, that's where my head's at. That's where my head's at. So let's go there. it was useful coming here to look. Right, we'll turn that one off. And now we're going to go over to the Rocky Desert. Are we stuck in hyperspace? No. Okay. I'm going to turn that off because I'm not going to need it for a while. So, we're going to put... See what I'm going to do first. In case this goes horribly wrong. In your own time. There we go. Okie dokie. No blueprint. Oh my god, this predates blueprints. Fine. Okay. But I did learn a lot in building the Dune Desert. So when I built those factories there, they were built actually. They were actually built. Most of them were built pre-blueprints. It's only the later ones that weren't. Right, so we're going to need we need to bring this up one wall because we need to clear the stations. Now, I'll talk you through it as I'm going. Auto-save. Okay. Then we're going to need a floor above for the logistics floor. This is going to mess with the drone port. I have a solution for that though. Doing this completely off the cuff, by the way. This I've got. The only plan I had was I needed to convert this to be a bottom-up factory. That's the only plan I've got. Quite how I do it, we're going to find out how we go. Alright. So none of that internal structure is a blueprint. The filling roof wouldn't have been, but these corner pieces would have been in later designs when the blueprints came in. Okay. Right. Now we've got some blueprints that can help us with this, but which we'll use if we can. What's that? Okey-dokey. That needs to go, so we're going to need to take the drone port out. Because you can't have a drone port. This is one of the reasons why the factories are top down, because the drone port fits really, really nicely in there. But you can't have that with a bottom-up factory. The drone port needs to be on top. I did earlier designs on the bottom-up factory, had them stuck on the side and stuff like that. They just didn't look right. But we'll cover that as we go. Right. Have we got a blueprint in here? No blueprints. Okay. It's really quite old. Coated. These would have been back to a 1x1 coat, 4x4 coated. So Mark 1 blueprinters would have been the only blueprinters available at the time. We can get a bit better than that now. We can do a 661. Okay. That's too far. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 6x4. Another 6x4. Right, now you could stick a blueprint in there, or you could just zoop the damn thing. Right. Okay, so this is our logistics floor that we're building here. We've also got to get our production floor, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yep. Just occurred to me there, we could try and get corner roof. Uh-oh. Let's try that again, shall we? There is a blueprint we can use. Can't press the right keys at the moment. Corner roof. Yeah. Yep. It's the reason why I use the 4x4s as well. Look, you see, because they're snap to these. But as long as it sits, that's okay, because now, of course, we've got nudge. Back in the day, this would have been a nightmare. Yeah, we can use corner roof for that. That'll be great. I would have ordinarily have just built this in by hand. It's fine. Work smart, not hard, eh? There's a reason for why we've not put a second floor in here, and that's because the blueprint we're going to use for the machines actually has a floor built into it. Gotta love that nudge. Oh. Yeah, I didn't get the height right anyway. Oh. That's for the... It's designed for the platform level, right. So we need to bring it down one. It's too tall for the factory floor. Factory floor should be, for assemblers, should be 4 walls high, not 5. That's fine. We can go and fit that. In there. Power of nudge. There we go, I knew I had it right. Ooh. Do like the nudge. Don't think it's the best feature though, but certainly it's pretty much up there. Right, get rid of that. That's why I didn't want to delete them first, because I need to replace them. Sit down. Okay. Looking good, I think. Yeah, so we've got the basic framework in now. We have a change on this corner. We'll sort all that out as we go. Right. Here's an issue. Generic assemblers. Designed to go up. It's fine. Generic assemblers 2x2 Gen 2. So this relates to a Gen 2 factory. And I believe this is a Gen 1. Yeah, for a Gen 1. So, what designates a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 factory? It's the width of the entrance. Gen 2 is 4 foundations wide. A Gen 1 is 2 foundations wide. So we need the blueprint that is designated for a Gen 1. Generic assemblers 2x2 V2. And as you can see, it's designed actually to go up. So, we'll put that in place, but we're going to need to adjust it slightly. The point is, it's right. It's got the logistics already built in. It's also designed for auto connect. But yes, let's see where we go from there. We need one in here. Come on, sit up. There we go. That'll do. My God, this would take an hours to build in pre-blueprints. Generic assemblers. I need 2x4. This is the only challenge when you're doing this, and that's trying to get it to snap. I don't want to do auto connect yet. I want to do blueprint. I want to get under here because it's hitting the in fact, you can even do it with default, to be honest, because it will sit on top of the floor that we put in. There we go. It's actually a bit better. Right, H. And let's see if we can get it to auto connect. Nice. It's looking okay. Oh, we could get inventive with the logistics as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. I've just had an idea. So get that in. It's already auto-linking, auto-connecting. Okay. See, this floor underneath here doesn't need to be concrete. It could be a mesh. You know, a concrete grid, not concrete, a steel grid. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Is that linking? Yes. Whee! Loving the auto connect now. It really does work well. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that you still end up with two belts, but for the amount of belts that's in the build, I actually don't care. It's fine. Right, this space at the end of the factory is reserved for logistics, right? So we've got to come up somewhere along here. We've also got to then fill a container. There's one of the highlight bugs. We know this. There we go. Cleared. We've got the bulk of our machines in, right? Now, it's going to be doing this all the time it's running. And while it's running, because it has things to deliver. You see, we could actually take out this, and this could be an open grid flooring. We'll think about it after. We'll put all the stuff in first, and then consider making that an open grid floor. That drone port's going to be of no use, but we'll replace it later. There we go. This is looking a bit more like the grass fields or the rocky desert factory. We can see just by adding another layer of walls, we've allowed enough room for the lights, which originally poked up into the roof there, to the ceiling. Okay. Here's another point. We need to go up. Now, what we could do is take the opportunity to replace this staircase with a lift. But we're not really planning on going down very far. We're going to go... This undercroft is going to stay, but all of this underneath here, this is going to go. And the reason for that is that we need to, if we're going to leverage this miner, this node, we'll need to leave enough room for a miner. And then we've got to route this out of here somehow. Haven't figured that bit out yet. Alright, but we need some containers. I haven't got a floor up here yet, have I? That works. Okay. That's what is it? 1, 2, 3. Three by 6. That right? Check. Yeah, it's good. I noticed that these don't have any feet on them anymore. If you actually look underneath here, they actually hover. They used to have feet on the underside of these things. Not anymore. Right. Oh, right. So we need 2 containers for a start, because we're going to need to bring up concrete, and that's in the wrong place. And steel beams. Not steel beams, are they? They're steel pipes. Groovy. So thinking about the logistics here, we need to come up and then it will go into these containers, and then we'll go to these additional floors. Sorry, go to these containers, then back down underneath. Right, but the point is, these are always surfaced on the floor. And this was an idea when I came up with this design originally. It was just an idea to use dead space. So I needed a staircase. I wanted to get a buffer of material on the floor, etc., etc. And so this end of the factory is basically dead space. Right. I have one of those. So steel beams. Steel beams. Just close the blinds, it's getting dark. Right, where now? Oh, I need a sign. It's for my benefit, so I know which way round they are. What am I using? Mark 5s. Okay. Yeah, Mark 5s. One, two. Ah, we need to remove the stubs on the end here. They're only required for the auto connect. Oh, okay. So, see, yeah, looking at things like this, you've got to be careful that you're where you're routing the belts, etc. Ah, no bore holes up there. One, two. Right. Interesting. We're not going up, we're going to go down. Now that's interesting. We need to have a think about that, about how we're going to route down. And it's not just a case of we just go vertically. I mean, maybe it is just a case of we go vertically down. But what we've got to be cognizant of is not fouling anything that exists down there already. That actually would work. So with that, maybe we do just go straight down. Could be interesting. Right. Let's complete this though. Yeah. We got that corner connected. Good. Get all this connected. What's that? back in the day, in update 5, I think it was, when a lot of this was built, I could build one of these factories per day. That was my aim. One factory per day. Now that's interesting. Okay. I have to deal with some issues like that because these aren't necessarily geared. I think it works. Okay. Yes. So this power here is isolated from here deliberately. Well, let's explain it. All of the platforms go along here and connect to a priority power switch. So that line, the power is brought in on the railway network. That's even missing a cable. That was an early design choice. I don't know, it may have just been in the mission. Right. The power comes in on the railway network and then it's isolated from the rest of the factory by this switch. So you can switch this entire factory off. Oh, it's off. It's now completely isolated from the rest of the power grid. For two reasons. One, it allows you to control any factory from any other factory. I can go and switch off Rubber Blue Crater. That's off now. Now it's on. Cable, Brass Fields, that's off. Okay, so that's what that's for. This gives me a control center for any single factory, but also creating a distinct power grid per factory helped deal with some of the lag that I was getting when you built when you continuously added factories to the power supply. Okay, so this needs to go up on this side and not on the power side that is on the stations. That was really why I wanted to show that. It needs to come up on this line because this is the line that's connected to the other side of that priority power switch. And this power in the corners design was actually an idea that I came up with when I was building a skyscraper at the never reached Ready Week West Coast called Nuclear Plaza. It was to get power up the building and supply two walls, so supply one side and the other side with a cross across, so redundant power grid, but also enables you to get around a corner. And that's been a feature of my design since then. And I don't mind exposed power nubs. I think it adds some detail to the inside. I don't try and hide it particularly. Although the clean logistics is the current idea. Right. That's probably not nowhere near correct. Anyway, we need to get a recipe on here. Encased industrial pipe recipe. And we need to see if these all go yellow rather than red. Okay. Looking good. It's very tempting just to bring this floor, the stuff up. The materials up without decommissioning the floor below. See, that's not going to change because it's not been powered in yet. It's not been wired in. Oh, has it? It has. Okay, that looks correct. That one's not joined. And that one's not joined. Okay. Alright. It's just I can't paste. Okay. Looking good. So we got that down pretty quickly. Got to bring our materials up. I don't want to. So part of this supplies nuclear. So I don't really want to break what's occurring until the last minute. So I don't want to break the existing production. So I think we think about routing up. And how are we going to do that? So the rotor factory's got a good reference for this. And oh look, it's missing buffers. My God, there's a feature I've missed. Buffer stops. Yeah, the rotor factory has a sort of solution for this, and that is that I bring the materials up at the end of the platform here. So something like that. Which means you've got to get over here. So the industrial beams, yeah. The steel beams, steel pipes rather, would come over to here and go up and then route to their appropriate location, and similarly with this as well. But we've got to figure out how to do that. Where is it? It's on the centre line of that foundation. And centre line of that one. Don't know if this is the best idea yet, but this is what I did with the rotor factory. So I'm going to go up there. Let's see if that actually fits. Yes, it does. Now, I don't do conveyor lifts like this. Because it would require 3 objects to make one conveyor lift. That's why I actually use 1 object, but we'll do this temporarily. Interesting, that's rotating every time I hit that top lift. So that would be the idea. So we'd see our materials going up at the end there. And that's certainly how I did the rotor factory. Okay. So we've got to get a nice arrangement coming down here, haven't we? Let's do this. What have we got here? We actually have a splitter we can use. Might just jury-rig this for the minute, and then we'll clean up in a bit. Let's do it. So that's a merger goes out, this one's going left. Okay, this is interesting. I'm very much winging it. Yeah. What if we took Now we could take this line out and just put that into there for the minute. I think that might be an idea. We could run that across the ceiling. Tend to run these along the floor. I mean, historically, it was easier to run the belts over the floor. It was hard. You couldn't do it. I mean, there wasn't this facility back in the day. So that's why these logistics floors have them running over the floor. I'm just tempted to jank that in for a minute. Until I can figure out what we're going to do. Okay. Where is it? It's on the right hand side. We'll work this out in a minute. That's why it's a logistics floor. Okay, we're up there. Then, hey! Alright, so we need to run one of these down. Oh, is this going to be a problem for us? We need to go over to here. I think it is. Let's see. What's this left one? Concrete line left and then steel pipes further along. So this is going to be one of our steel pipes. It makes sense. We do something like that. Where's the other one? Oh, you're not telling me that's... It fails, doesn't it? Oh, okay. Hang on. This wasn't supposed to go to up here. I'll bet you this isn't a blueprint. No, it's not. Wow, I did all this by hand. Right. Let's have that. Bring you up. We're going to have to work out how we're going to cross these. Later. Not right now. That'll do for the minute. See, if we didn't need to come up, it would probably be a lot easier, but we do. This is how we do it. I can see here what I'm doing. I'm using one lift. I connect it there through the floor hole, so I don't have problems with, like, people say that floor holes don't work correctly or whatever. Pipe floor holes usually have been historically the issue. I got that wrong, didn't I? Yes. But a long time ago, based on what was it? It was the fact that when you connected them to the holes, it came up with this weird behaviour, like that used to get this top piece through twice, stuff like that. And so that was when I started to use one lift for the entire vertical lift. Right, and we need to come round here. This is perhaps how we're going to do it. We need to come route round. Let's have a look at that clearance on that. That's a bit close. That's better, and this will be in keeping with the lift. So we might do something like that. And then all of a sudden we've got our pipes coming in. Our pipes going into the machines. Okay, good for me. I like that. We've got a problem with getting across here, but we'll see. We'll see how we deal with that. That's looking fine. We might be tempted to bring that around and then straight across. In fact, that makes complete sense. So across to here. 1, 2. And then go straight across. That looks a bit better. Right. So you're flowing. What's next? Do with that. Ah. That doesn't connect anywhere. That will go... Aha. It's a dummy. This is to put power in the corners. Okay. Right, we've got that. Now, next thing to work out is what we're going to do with the concrete. Similar thing. Actually, we've already disconnected, so we're running on borrowed time now, right? Although there is a supply of concrete and steel pipes down on the lower floors. But we need to have this running. Take that. Already got the infrastructure in place. We'll clean this up later. We haven't connected that yet. Have those. So obvious answer here is to go up, but I don't think we can afford that. 1, 2. Can we go along? Or perhaps... two. How's that looking? It's pretty close. Don't like it. We're gonna have to go along, I would say. But we can change this to be across the ceiling. We've got a line we can follow. That would be good, wouldn't it? So let's say we went... one, two. It's a bit close, I think, but we'll see. Yeah, it's too close. So we need to come out and then use this space. And now I can see that we really want to go in the centre here. How's that looking there? It's not really equal spaced, is it? So we don't want to be on the centre line of the centre line of the foundation. More like that. Something like that. And that's too far. If we're going to do a turn straight underneath. Darn. Get any idea? Right. That's one. That's the second one. She's going to chuck a left. 1, 2. Goody. Yeah. I actually want to go on this oval one. Are we able to go around the back here? Oh. I'm liking that. Okay. Right. Need a support. Yeah. We're going to be close underneath. Ah, but we're still going to make it. That now. How far can we go? Might switch this to be connected to the ceiling. But not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We'll see. We'll see. If we're going to change this floor to an open grid ceiling, then we will need to do that. But I just want to get the routing correct at the moment. Right. So, I'm thinking that... 1, 2... We need to work out what the curve is. I'm going to guess... 1, 2, 1, 2... See if I was in any way, shape or form. That's round the wrong way. One, two. Good guess, wasn't it? Right. So we need that clearance. But when we connect the concrete up to that, it's going to get busy. But it will clear, by the looks of it. Ah. I want you flowing. You full on the other side. Oh, oh, look. It's weird. I actually overlap the conveyor. Right. Now, here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get rid of this. Just needed it positioned so that I could get single lift in place. That works all right. It clears. Could even go over a bit, right? And then that would clear that properly. Okay. I can see that I'd rather do it and redo it until it's right, because once this is done, this will be its final position. It's never going to be moved from this. So that. Just moving that over just a little bit, I think, makes it look better. It's only over 1 meter. Should have probably have placed that. 1, 2. Oh no, it's only 1. No. That's the right place. Yeah. Right. You can go. Okay. Auto save. Look at these funny holograms all sticking outside. Good. Why are we going up? Oh, we are going up because we're going over it on the top. And you are going underneath. And you're going that way. I like that. There's a bit more clearance. Looks like it's actually by design. I'd probably want to bring this up a bit if I can, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll work with it for now. Right, we've got this going. We have an opportunity to dump the concrete. And how are you doing? Oh, of course, these are. So all this was originally designed around a Mark 5 belt, and of course, concrete stacks in 500, so it's horrendous to get enough concrete down there. But yeah, still works on a Mark 5 belt. It's designed for a Mark 5 belt. But yeah, it's going to take a while for those to fill up. Really? Are you not flowing out? There you are. Oh, I see. It's flowing in at the same rate it's flowing out. That's fine. That's why it looks a bit static. Okay. Right, we need to bring these materials down now. We were looking before at... I'm going to punch a hole in here. We were looking before at how we're going to do that. This has a kinked in output, and the reason for that is to avoid some constructs in the corners of a Gen 1 factory. This isn't, I'm guessing this isn't a blueprint. No, it's not. Right. Where are you? You're on the centre line of that. Mm-hmm. That's concrete. One, two, three, four. So 4 vertical lines. Does that sound right? I suppose it does. Have a look. Oh, fouls with a light. How many does this output? Not a great deal. It outputs 160. So we could actually bring this down. Here we go. We do something similar to this. We bring them all into a central point and then bring it down. That is the answer. Now, where is the center point of a Gen 1 factory? They're 13 foundations wide. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is actually the center point of a Gen 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's strangely enough, that's exactly where I put that. Ah, there's another center point I use, center line, but that would end up coming through that cable. So I think where we are is good. Fine. So we're not going to do 4 verticals down. We're going to bring 1 vertical down. We'll do it with a Mark 5 belt. That's 106 for all of this production. 40 assemblers. That is, wahee, 4 per minute. So 4 times 40, 160 for all of this machinery. Not overclocked. 160. That seems like a very, very small number. So we don't, even a Mark 5 belt here, all good. Where was that line? It was there. This is, it's a center point. Of course it is. Okay, that makes complete sense. So, logistics. We need a merger. We need a merger in the right place. We're going to we're going to get this right eventually. We're going to merge here. We're going to put these. You'll see why I do this in a minute. There's a very nice feature that was added in 1.1 to do with mergers. quality of life. Not mergers. Yeah, no, with mergers and splitters and with lifts. Right. So I want to get a lift from there to there. We do this with a merger or a splitter. The concertina, you can see, extends into the merger. We can actually delete that now, and it actually contracts back. Very nice addition. Very subtle. But now it means that this will actually line up. Okay. You can get rid of that, we don't need it. And likewise, we're going to... You could even... Look, I mean, you could even come out the back of here. Oh, no, you couldn't, because you can't get the clearance, right? You'd be back here. So you do need to do it this way. It's fine. It looks like it's by design. And it is. Is it more complicated than it needs to be? Possibly. There we go. So we get that in. We don't need that. We don't need that. That's sacrificial. It was just there to place the object. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We're now... Mark 5s and Mark 1s. That looks pretty good. I'm going to knock a hole in there. Put these back. Okay, and then... Oop. I need one of these going down. Now, essentially we can get this to take over, can't we? What I just did. What did you do? Come on. We have only 2 lines. Of course we do. It's a it's a centre line that's come up there. Fine. Okay. Ooh, that's way far back. Okay, so we've got to jury rig this a little bit for now. Yeah. I want that to empty. There is some stuff we can do with that. I mean, it can take over right now. Okay. But it'd be nice if we could get those to empty. Get the floor below to start emptying. Yeah. Okay. It's either that or we start to force it, right? So, is this a blueprint? And it is. So this was actually a rebuild anyway from the original factory. Let's do it. Take long to do that, does it? Okay, there are some things we can do to assist. Need a storage container. Again, it's only temporary. Steel pipes. Okay. This feed here will take priority. So it's better to use this until this is full. Okay. So we have a feed coming down. We've got concrete coming in there and going up. Now, I want to change the way this is organised here. Remember I said I want just one lift. Right, I'm going to have to take that one out. And the reason for that is it won't connect onto the end. Get that lined up. Nice. Try again. Yes, change the direction. Through that hole. Yeah. Now we have a single lift. That one comes out. Take that. Brilliant. Ouch. Okay. Okay. Now then. Auto save. Something I just want to check. Just want to check that the mouse movement wasn't too high. Seems to be a bug at the moment. Every time you join the server, the mouse movement is set as it would be if it was at 10. Right, okay, that one's cool. Similar thing with this, I want to change this to a single lift. Again, it's just my preference. I don't like having multiple objects to make one lift. Darn, I don't delete the one at the top. You can clip it though. Let's see which one we get. I don't want that one. Okay. Oh, I managed to get it. Kill that one off. Beauty gumdrops. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that was the sound of a train hitting a buffer. Concrete. Pipes. So we can actually go and start to pull concrete and pipes from down here. Since we're already demolishing that, take all. Take the steel pipes. Great deal of concrete there, but some. We're going to replace this with a lift. Let's just take this out for the minute. You've stopped feeding. Why have you stopped feeding? Is that because you're full at the top? No. Is that because you're full? No. This one isn't feeding properly. Revisit that. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So one of the issues with building bottom up is material return for the drone port, but we'll figure it out. Actually, and feeding the drone port is going to be similarly an issue. Right. Yeah. We'll work it out. So, how are you looking? I'll leave you alone for a minute. Okay, you're good. Tidy up. That will go. Alright, so that's now full on capacity. We don't have any choice but to use this container now. Okay. Was actually a blueprint. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Those autosaves come around really quickly. Damn, I don't want that down there. No, I have to remember that. You're stationary. Need to check why that's the case. Oh, did I see it just go there? Yeah, okay. So now it's starting to feed normally as there is demand, whereas this is filling up the storage unit that's connected to this line. Okay. What are we going to do down... Oh, no, we do need to... We're going to take this floor out. I was going to say, what are we going to do down here? We could actually put power storages in here, you know, batteries. But I actually think we'll probably... Yeah, we need to clear this out. And the reason for that is we want to be able to get a miner in underneath. It's the whole purpose of this. The whole purpose of why we're moving up is because we need to fit a miner in underneath. And then that might be it. That'll be a future project as to what the hell to do with it. And where to route it. But for now, it's going to be rejig the factory. No, this session. Rejig this factory so that it's bottom up all the time whilst it's still running. Okay, did we get the contents of that box? No. Oh wow, there's tons in there. Alright, okay. That's because you have one box now per location. Be careful. Not to contaminate. We've got a fair amount of concrete now. Can't load that up. I'll do that though. Just spotted that. Auto save again. Right, okie dokie. You're all producing. You're filling up. Oh, we're still dismantling. Wow. It's got a long way to go because 700. See that this is the issue. You probably want to put a Mark 6 on these, to be honest. Purely because of the transfer rate of the concrete. But I don't think it's necessary. The Mark 5 will get there eventually, but you know, if you've got stacks of 500 and you're only transferring 780 per minute, then that's a lot of minutes to fill up one of those large containers. 9x8, whatever it is. Anyway, it's what it is. If it becomes an issue, we'll just we'll Upgrade them to Mark 6s. Right, let's do a little bit of investigation here. Oh, that was a good guess, wasn't it? Hey! Right, so it is going to fit. Just. We're going to need to... I mean, this is... clearly there's not going to be a floor here, right? We need to close this up. Rework this so that it actually becomes... this becomes the underneath of the factory, not, you know, no floor here. Which is going to be interesting for this, but actually it's not really a problem because we're going to put a lift all the way down. This is not a blueprint, right? This is all built by hand. So we'll get rid of what we can here, and then I'm going to replace this with a lift. Burn through that quick. Likewise. Let's go and get some more. Should put the industrial beams in at the end. Okay, no concrete. I do enjoy these refit projects. They're something that I built thousands of hours ago. Doesn't mean that it has to be there forever. I'm always looking to improve on what I've built previously. Come up with new ideas, fresh ideas. Build is dynamic, it's constantly evolving. As things become an issue, I fix those issues. And sometimes the solutions aren't permanent. But everything is built to at least some sort of standard and design. Rid of that. And you can literally vacate a factory and then repurpose it. You'll find there are factories in the build that are just vacant. They've been vacated, moved to larger premises, and then these factory footprints are just left open for future use. We don't need that. We don't need that. All of this piece is going to go under here, but I know. I'm just fluffing at the minute. I think that's cool. I like that. It fits just. I mean, you could put a foundation under there, but it's going to be a bit tight. Got some more concrete to get in. You can go in there. Loads. Can't get into that storage unit. Well, there's a train docked on it. That is full. Well, that is full. Okay, let's go upstairs and see if any one of those units can take some concrete. Yeah, plenty. Right. We've taken out all the production downstairs. This is now the production, but it's not feeding into the platforms yet because there is a surplus of industrial beams, encased industrial beams that we want to get taken first. Right, this can go. That can go. And that. There wasn't a train coming here. Ah! We don't need a merger, do we? Because we're feeding down to here. Oh. There we go, make sure the priority is in that direction. Groovy. Okay. I think that can wait for a minute. Let's go and do some fluff up here. Need to consider the drone port. Drone port will be up here in the centre. Something like this. I think it's down one actually. Yeah, down one. This is where I got inventive about how the drone port would be housed. And this gets taken out because the drone port sits here. Okay. How are we looking? This is probably all full now, is it? Yeah. There we go. Right. Do we take the drain port out now? Do we go and build a lift? A little think under here. Well, that needs to come out. Right, how do we place the lift? Do this with a wall. Take this down somewhere near the floor. And then we're going to create a foundation in. That actually might work. I might take it down a little bit. The issue here is once we put this in, this is pretty much permanent, right? Because you can't edit a lift, you have to delete the whole thing and start again. It's really quite annoying. Right. What are we going to do? We need to get rid of that plant. It's not a bike. Right, okay. And that one. And that. Right, lift. Transport. Personnel lift. Now, the way I do this... Now, well, this floor isn't going to be here. So we're going to go here. And this will be where the power comes in. There's this power connector in a stupid place. It's right over here, so you can't run the power line down. You have to run it up. Yeah. It's deliberately designed to be irritating. We can now take this all the way down here. And I noticed that they've fixed the heights. These always used to say 0 meters on dedicated server, but now they actually have a proper value, which is great. Why aren't you... Oh, it's lift stop. Personnel lift again. That's here to here. Oh, actually, I've got that lift around... Oh, no, I got it around the right way. That goes to there. We want a lift stop here. Yeah. Personnel lift, there we go. Yeah. Base in the center. Transport, lift stop. So we've got power, we can get all the way down. Customizer. Where are you? Where else do we need to be? Okay, I think that might be it. Ah, that is actually our blueprint. There's a whole section there I've done. Right, we can start to rip this out. Ah! Let's waste not, want not, shall we? Come on, you. I just want to get some up the top here because they're a specific size. You see, and I've deleted that one now, and I'm like, yeah, that's annoying. But I'll get one from another corner. We don't need that now. Leave that hole there for a minute. Just have to remember that we've got one. Is that right? Apparently. See, I normally leave all these windows open whilst I'm building, and then at the end of it, I'll close all that in. But because invariably you're floating around outside, and you need to get into the corners, etc. I need this up here because I deleted the lower one. Damn, where'd it go? Where did you go? Can I grab one off one of these? Yep. Okay. Ooh. Let's see if I can put some of this concrete in. Fantastic. We need that. All of these items, the materials I chose here were very early game, and they were just designed to be cheap. So inexpensive, so they didn't use a whole load of steel. All the concrete originally was not coated concrete, it was plain concrete. It was only later that I changed it over to coated concrete when I had enough materials. I don't play in creative mode, everything that's built has materials behind it. Okay, that's a pretty good pre-stage of everything that's needed. There's one more to go up there. That is likely... I was going to say it's likely not to be a blueprint, but it actually is. So... I messed up there. Yeah, I think I have. There we go. Okay. Pretty much set the scene now. We just need to strip out the drone port. Load of materials here. How are you looking? Are you quite full? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Okay. Drone port. Yeah, it looks about right. Look at how that's aligned. It's on the edge, and then you're right at the middle. That's a feed up. Just jury-rig that for a minute. Yep, you're a feed up, you're a feed down. So you're a material feed down. Recently dealt with one of these, so in the rotor factory, so I'm pretty familiar with a viable solution for it. This is a feed up. Feed up. So from our production line, take another knockout here. Oh, from our production line, we need to take some materials up, and it's there. That's tricky. That means you either feed one. You either feed this from one. I like the idea of that. Maybe I might need to check it. I think what you do is you put a splitter here. Splitter there, but then you need to merge the two. Maybe I'll go and look at the rotor factory to figure it out. But here, let's go down. This is a return. For our return... Woo. Work. This is our return. I remember what I did now with this. I put that there. Like, there's no way we're going to get away from fouling this cable. That's what it is. And that is a feed up. So if we take this down, we make that a splitter. If that is a splitter, we can go straight up. Straight up, and then that goes into, that's the input into the drone port. Right, that's how we deal with this. Where's the build key? God damn it. Forgot about that again. Right. Take that out. Yep. So we want to be able to feed the drone port from our main production. That's what this is about. So we're going to split off our main production and then go up again. But we also want to be able to return. This is where you need a merger and splitter, right? So you want a merge line here. But it's fine, we'll work it out. I need now to take this all the way up to the top. I think... Yeah, we want a return line, we can do this. We take a priority merger. Let's leave some space, right? I used to do this like this, but then if you want to colour anything, we can do it. Doesn't matter. I would normally do something like this, but what I'm mindful of is that I'm going to be bringing a belt round here, and I don't want it to foul the staircase. Mm-hmm. Go over that for the minute. Right, we can then bring this all the way down to the bottom. I can't actually see the ceiling now. That's it. Oh. I want the other one. Alright. We have to do it again. We have to do it again. Oh no, got it. Lovely. Okay. Another one of those. So that's the return line, and that is the feed line. Encased. Industrial. Beam, Rocky Desert. Tower. That'll do. Whoa. Platform. Do we want to go out and then down? Or do we just want to go straight down? I think we want to go out and down, don't we? Because otherwise that fouls. Try that again. Oops. We'll do that when we've got the floor in. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. We can do it. Yeah. Come on. This is open to some artistic license. But I bet you if I look at one of the others, they're not a million miles different from this. Oh, yeah. There's the answer. That's a million times better. That way the staircase is pointing this direction. Great. Right. Almost looks deliberate. Right. What else have we got? Here's the thing, like you can't snap anything to the top of these. Have you noticed this? I don't know. Conveyor pole, nothing snaps on it, right? You can place. Can you place a foundation on it? You can. But one of the things I did notice is you. Oh, can you put a roof on it? And you can't, right? But if you get a frame floor and stick that on top, you can then put a roof on it. There we go. It gives it a nice finish. Looks deliberate. Lift. Right, turn that off straight away. Right, 93 metres. Now that these have actually got numbers against them, and it says 93 outside, I now know which way round these are. They all used to say 00 before, and they used to go, well, is high at the bottom or at the top? I can't tell. So, edit. This is the factory floor. And there's a factory icon. Confirm we can go down. Let's just go down to the next floor and then figure out what it is. I think it's logistics. I always want to click on that. You can't. You press E. It's factory logistics. So there's no storage here. So I'm going to put this as factory logistics. Personnel icon. That'll do. Next one. Aha. Platform level. That's to the trains. And next stop. Auto save. Let's see how this behaves. Because I've had some fun with this. Oh, it completed. Did it? Okay. Good. Okay. That is platform logistics. And this does have storage, so I'll put a storage crate there. And then this one, last one, must be external access. Groovy. Now we're actually missing a floor, and that is we need to go down one. We aren't going to get down there through here, are we? We're going to have to go out to external. We need to kill this floor. Delete that floor. I think that looks pretty cool. Right, why did I delete this, right? And the reason I deleted this is that these units foul the lift. There is a technique. If we're very lucky, you can zoop over it. See if we can do it. No. So I was going to say you need to be able to zoop over it. You need to be able to zoop past, actually. So you have to do it like that. But yeah, no, we're not going to get it. Anyway, the point is actually that's got to go. Oh, I should have just left that deleted. Is this a factory floor? It is, yes. So this is a bit easier to delete. This had a recent refit, so all this was built out of blueprints. That's got to go. Right. Let's keep an eye on my storage inventory. That is not a blueprint, that was actually just built to look like the support. This would end up being the bottom. Yep. Of course, that's going to be fun, isn't it? Because oh, it does just missed it. Ah, doesn't matter if it's clips really. Good, okay. You can see what we're doing is we're getting rid of the old floor so that we can have space underneath to facilitate this miner, and then we'll figure out how we're going to route that out at a later date. I've noticed in this experimental release, the music is playing better. I think in the last full production release of the game, it was like playing one song over and over or something like that. It wasn't actually playing the soundtrack at all. So maybe that's something subtly that's been fixed in the background. Anyway, look at this. Don't need that. Oop. Be careful about what we're selecting behind. Suddenly find chunks out of the buildings that are nearby. There's a power line that's going down into that column, so it makes sense to bring that back up. One of the early designs, the power just ran down the outside of the column, but now it's actually inside the column, which means that you can use a hover pack all the way down to the ground. And if you really needed to, you could tap power out to the outside. So that's what that's about. That's quite neat. It's nicely hidden. Right. The only place it doesn't exist is over here, of course, because there's no. There's not really a column here. It's just been built to look like a column. Right, well I think we don't want column support 2, we want support 5. Electric corner support 5. Oh, I need to delete these corners. Because corner support 5 has a foundation in the corner. Ah, that shouldn't be like that, should it? Similarly with that, then I'll go straight across. Okay. Okay. Four. This design is built for when we have, let's go over there, when we have logistics that are underneath. So actually we don't need it, we can actually go to the default. See, it's for this. And the default is this. Don't know. Let's have a think. Right, I've got a bit of an issue here. Or I think it might be that. Figure it out. Yeah, it would make sense, right? We'll see. You'll see why in a minute. Okay. Can we fit another one? Do we need to? Is there a gap? Yes, there is. Okay. Ooh, that's going to cause some grief. We'll figure it out. Not vertical. Ooh. Oh, look at that. We got the zoop in. Remember what I was saying? There we go. So if you zoop it across, you have to have a good long zoop, and then it doesn't come up with a collision. Sometimes, okay? So it's not foolproof. You'll see some of the factories don't have they do have a gap there. At 8? Is it really 8? 1, 2, 7. Did I just... That's annoying. That come up with 8. Any road, right. Oh, we got that in there. Oh, that's in, fine. Right, what's the length? I think blueprints, architecture will be series B. 5. That. That comes out. That comes out. Right, we'll figure out how this is going to work over here. Look. If we turn this miner around, it can output this way, and it can go straight up into here. Just output straight up there. Although let's see how this pans out, right? Because that actually works quite well there. I quite like the way that's doing that. But that might be a future thing anyway, right? It's not a requirement at this stage. We might actually do this, so... Yep. And similarly, This might not, you know, we may not have this here. Like that. In fact, I do things like this. That would work. We could even put like a half foundation in here. That works. And then as far as your power is concerned, now here's the thing, right? We'd probably want to take the power off the main grid, because this, we wouldn't want this miner to switch off if we switched off the power to this this factory. So actually we probably want to reroute the power. I've got to get out here. How's this all looking? Feeding. Right, so our power's coming in here. We'd want to go down. Ooh, okay. So we need to isolate this. Similarly with that, we want to isolate it. We don't want it feeding into the main. Damn! I just delete the floor. I know what we do. We just take that out and then replace it. Right. So I would bring this something like this. Then we'd bring that across here. What do we say in the middle? And that is now off the main grid. 1200. Rather than coming off, we get rid of this and then rebuild it. Go maintain in the same with that, same thing with that, right? Maintain the integrity of the blueprint. Right, 4, 3. I know what I save again. Four. And a 3. Oh, that's going to be a pain. Isn't going to work. Here's the lesson learned. So, that's irritating. So I can't place. Oh, maybe I can outside. Hang on. Can't place a blueprint for a lift. See? So you want to place this before you place the lift. And I'm not going to redo the lift. So, in which case, I will delete that. I will make that 5. and then I will construct this by hand, because that is infinitely preferable to deleting the lift and recreating it. They do. You see, you place walls on these intersect with it, but they don't complain, whereas these pieces do. Really weird. Okay. All right. Well, that's done. We've cleared out the bottom floor. If you look at neat grass fields, some of these curtain walls are extended all the way to the ground. I don't really want to add to the object count if I don't need to, so I'm not going to do that yet. Maybe in the future. That's done. We can seriously start thinking about closing up. Right. We did talk about possibly, let's take the 6x6.1 out. Look, if we expose all this, look. Isn't that fun? But what we do is put a full ceiling in. Frame floor 4x4. I wonder if we should create a bigger one. So that was the idea I had. Becomes a non-walkable floor, but we have all the logistics in the ceiling. What do you think of that? Let me know. I think I quite like that, actually. I'm going to go with that. The only question is whether or not we go and create a bigger blueprint. Yes. Hang on, why isn't that going up? Have we not connected this up yet? No. Oh, I haven't connected that up either. Right, so that... Hang on. That was supposed to be the feed. Oh. Priority center input. No. Priority left input. We want back feed off the drone port to take priority. Where's my flashlight? There it is. I don't think that's connected. No, it's not. But similarly, I don't necessarily want that. Want this this to empty. I don't want to leave this in indefinitely. We've got some concrete on us we can drop. Couple of things here. Drone port isn't. Drone port power isn't required anymore. Blueprints stairs. Oh, it's in here. It's in blueprints, architecture, stairs, too high. And that is to storage. Cool. And these can now go in. It's just a little bit of fluff to break up a bit. This is no longer required. Let's set this up. I need to go to the hub. Create a couple of blueprints. So I think I like that. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna take that out. We're gonna do a frame floor. Oops. Alright, we'll deal with that. Or not. We'll see. But I think that gives that some visual interest when you step into this area and you're like, ooh. In which case, we do not need a factory floor logistics lift. We do need... Oh, I'll tell you what we do here. Last frame foundation. Oh. And a bit of natural lighting. Flat roof. Why does that keep rotating? Right, architecture. We've got round concrete column, too small. Small concrete pillar. Dear, I do like concrete. That's cantilever floor. Right. Here is why I ran this beam in the middle. Way off. Come on. Better. There we go. I wonder if a box beam will be better. That's annoying. That's not going through. All right. Try that again. Oof, oof. There's another way of doing this. Remove the. I wanted the foundation because then I could see the centre marks, etc. Right. Try that again. See if it's down. No, it's not. Okay, there is another way of doing this. Foundation. Oh, you're not quite, are you? Try it the other way. No, it doesn't snap. Ah, hang on, might have it. Better. Yeah. Oh, still. Yeah, yeah, it did. It goes down under the floor slightly. And so it looks like it's intersected with the steel, right? And I was rather hoping that would actually be touching, but I can still see light underneath it. But hey ho, I can live with that. No one will know. Right, that's good for me, I think. Frame floor. Oh, we missed a wall there. Got no lighting in here. Doesn't matter though, it's got lots of natural light. So, frame ceiling. Got our lift. Are we stuck in now? Oh, we need some beams up here to edge this off. Snap point. One of these dubious. I want freeform, I think. one of these, you got to. It's the order in which you do these matters as to how well it comes out. Not freeform in this case. That'll do, pig. You might decide to put some beam connectors on it to try and hide the joints. I want that to go horizontal. There we go. Don't like either of those. But maybe I've got no choice there. No, I don't think I have. Try and get that to lay flat. That's it, I just saw that there. That's it. So we've got a staircase up to our drone port. It's got power. We're gonna be, oh God almighty. This should be full. That should be full. So, and that's because we haven't connected it up properly yet. It was here. Alright, but you're not going up properly, are you? Just saw that. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. God damn it, where am I now? That's because the autosave. Alright, just wasn't connected. Alright, so you're not connected properly either. Winner. Now, actually the drone port should come off. Here's the point. It shouldn't come off the main feed, it should come off this. Oh, that's a massive no-no. Right. Okay, we might need to rethink that. It should come off the output feed of the platform. Take this out. That's the whole point. Platform is priority. Ah, and there's priority merger. So I'm not sure that's correct. Sync it through. Let's have feed up. But I don't want to cut across the staircase. Even though that would be the easiest route, right? So if we cut across like that. Oh, that is actually, yeah, that is it. But then we need to come out and merge back in. That is correct. Yeah, I wonder. If we take that to there and then do that, that actually looks as if it's deliberate. Yeah. And let's take this out. And that. Because that doesn't need to be there now. But we want a merge. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do priority merger here. I'm going to get, this is what I did at the other location. I'm going to bring that across. We are going to bring this down to, where was this coming from? Right up the top. I need to take that out. Needs to go that way. I'm going to bring that across there. That is then going to loop over. The priority merge then is on the right. That then just needs to loop into there. And it all looks as if it's deliberate. That works. Okay, I want to grab some... this and then stick it in. I need to bring... that needs to be redone. Right, you first. So let's say we brought in a material return. A drone's brought in a material return. Can't shift click these across. Shift click only goes into this one. There we go. So this is now feeding out. Let's close up behind us as we go. Oh. I don't believe it, I missed it. Right, well, we had the concept. Let's just try that again, shall we? Logistics, priority merger. right hand feed. Gonna go. Yeah, that's fine. Reconnect this. And go and finish off our floor. Right. Got all our busy ceiling. It looks interesting. Where do we want to go? We want to go to... Oh, here's one of the things as well. Been pumping up the lights up to 50%. Oh, there's a hole there. Okay. You've still got it. You've got a fair bit. Looks like you're empty. Take you out. Let's go and build some frame floors. All right, mate. Frame floor. We want to zoop that, don't we? Right. Lost all of these. I had all this organised at one point. I feel disinclined to redo this until the interface is better and I can bulk move things. It's really annoying. And actually, this used to be called Modular Factory. It's now more along the lines of architecture. So, See, like stairs, walkways. What would fall into that? You probably put it into, yeah, it's in architecture, isn't it? So we'd want another category, right? Edit, add category. Where's my category? Add category. Go on, add category. No. No. I dread using this interface. It is utter garbage. Utter garbage. My God. What was the designer thinking? Please. Right. Edit. Add category. I don't know. Do you want to add a category? No? Oh, what a load of rubbish. Right, anyway. So it's going to end up being in question mark. Please, give me an hour with the devs in a room with a whiteboard and I'll explain to them how shit should work. Right, architecture. God, I'm not even drunk. I'm getting all fighty. Right. Frame. Floor. 6x6. Select icon. Frame floor. Choose. It's even this. I've tried to use this before. I don't want to add it here. I want to do add a. Go to architecture. I want to add another category. Add a category. I mean, what am I missing? I don't know. Shouldn't there be a blank category here that I can, like, new category that I can edit? No. Ridiculous. Okay, undefined it is. Save. Right. Back in there now. I'm going to have to be backwards and forwards a couple of times because we need some variance, and I can't remember which way round I did. But that'll be fun. Frame floor 6x6, and then Nudgeroony. I mean, they do so much that's right, and then some of the gooey stuff is atrocious. See, things like that, you want to make sure that they've actually got a connection point. See, look, they're sitting on the dividers. Yeah, that isn't. I can sort of live with that because that's spanning. And that isn't. But I might be able to live with it. Right. Not that. That needs to go over there. We want this on blueprint. I think my cat wants in. Bear with me. Yeah, she did. Right. Hello, honey. That's 4. So 6x4. Hang on, I'm sure when... Oh, we got this issue again, right? You can't place a blueprint through a lift. You've got to place your lift right at the end. Okay, but we can get another. I think we can get another one of these in. But then I'm going to have to do this by... It's probably going to be quicker to do it by hand, right? We got the majority of it. Just a bit of zoopy. Because by the time I've gone back, and I might do the 6x4, I think would be a good one. Is that right? Is okay. No, that isn't right. Look. Ooh. God damn it. Same with the frame walls. They have this ability to snap down or up. You can flip them. Right, okay. Right, we want to do a 6x4. This lets natural light in. I like the idea of natural light. Oh, yes, I think that I quite like that. Let's go and do a 6x4. Oh, hello. Thank you for cushioning my landing. Six by 4. It's not snapping to that. That's what I just realised. Why is it doing that? Come on. Just make sure we hold that. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. H. I'm okay with that. We could have fixed some lighting to the bottom of this, some ceiling lights, and I think that would look pretty cool. But we've got these wall lights. which are pretty good. I don't like the positioning of that in relation to the lift, but it is what it is. I suppose at least it casts a light and it lights it up. Okay. Some holes to fill in. How are you looking? Or empty. Let's see if we can put all that in the top. Because we've got no quick way of getting up there now. Because we've closed all the gaps. We can go in through the corner. I think we've had a train come and pick up. Or maybe not. I think that's just about worked out all right. So the drone port will load into the storage by default first, and then it will take from the production line. Priority merger is a really good idea. I'm glad the devs brought that in. It's really good. I think that looks okay. I'm quite happy with that. It could do with some colorization, but there are issues with swatches, etc. at the moment, so maybe I'll revisit that after maybe there's some more colors or the color picker's fixed. Or there's more swatches. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. 40 assemblers, 160 encased industrial beams per minute. That came out alright, didn't it? So here's a tour. I suppose we probably should do a tour. Oh, my cat wants out. Give me a second. Right. Okie dokie. So, step back and actually have a look. It's changed the skyline of Rocky Desert because now this building is standing up above the rest. Let's just make sure that it actually looks correct. I'm not convinced about that. I think it should be that. Or not. Oh no, nothing looks good there. I think we can live with that for the moment. Bit of an aurora going on. We brought our power into the miner, which we'll leverage at a later date. The corner looks okay. What the hell is that? It needs to go. It's one of the old power connectors. Okay. Still not happy with that corner. But it is in keeping with the top there. Okay. This cutout usually I'll put some windows in or something like that, just in the corner. That would look like this. These frame windows. Wow. Actually, not the frame window. Oh no, maybe. No, not the frame window. Balls. That's better. Does mean you can't go flying in through these corners, which I find a little bit restrictive, but I think it just looks better. I've got a frame floor we need to fill in there. Missed that one. That works for me. There should actually be a connector here. Definitely could do with some lights, ceiling lights, but it's okay. We can see some stuff going on in the ceiling. I think that's pretty cool. Don't like that. Maybe we think about that and maybe get it suspended from the ceiling instead. Might be a second pass of that. Okay. And then from the outside. Ooh, we need to get a screenshot. Ah, hang on, because we've got photo mode, haven't we? Right. Enable decoupled camera. Whee! Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't want that becoming the main focus because everybody would be like, well, what's that? Hang on, what's that? There we go. I think that's come out all right. Oh, that's concrete. Considering how old that factory was originally, it was there. It was built between update 5 and update 6. Been here a very long time, and has served us well. But now we've rejigged it so that the factory floor is actually above, and underneath we've freed up the space to be able to get to the miner. And so at some point we'll be looking at what we can do with that miner. Now, are there any vacant factories around here? Well, I'll tell you what. Well, that one's not doing much. That could end up being a Caterium ingot factory, but I would probably want a pure node to go with water. That means refineries. And phew, that means going that direction, going east. And there's a lot between here and and some water. So who knows? Yeah, there's not a lot of space around here. It's pretty much shoehorned in. Everything is shoehorned in. I think that came out alright. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's the first bottom-up factory here in the Rocky Desert. May not be the last. Oh, look, missed it. So this is why we inspect it. Ooh. Make sure everything is where it should be. Okay. Well, I think that about wraps up this session. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed it. I had no idea about how this was going to pan out. Only that I wanted to build it from bottom up. Or rebuild it from the bottom up. And I needed to do it whilst it was still running. So I think we've achieved that. And it certainly won't be the last of these builds that we do. And hopefully see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.